Hi, Mark. Okay, so we are here today to talk about 10 horror movies that, for one reason or another, pissed me off. And you can go watch these horror films too if you choose to be pissed off. If you enjoy being angry, if it's a pastime of yours, you can go watch these right now and engage in your favorite hobby, being absolutely infuriated. Isn't that right, Bowser? He agrees. Alrighty then. So, um, no, he's a little baby. His little head's in my hand. Actually, there's nothing little about his head. That head is gigantic, huh, buddy? It's a gigantic head. Okay. Um. So we'll just get right into this. I'm feeling negative, I guess, because I reviewed Whisper and now I'm talking about movies that pissed me off. That movie could be in this list, except it's not that bad. It didn't piss me off that bad. But these 10 movies sure did. Nummy, nummy. Okay. Number 10 is going to be Romina or Romina. Romina? Romina? Regina? Um, Romina. This movie was on Netflix for the longest time. I have no idea if it still is. But what I can tell you is that I watched it when it was on Netflix and it was horrible. So basically, the setup for Ramana is essentially it's a revenge film. You know the type. You know the type. Um, oh, sorry, buddy. Fingernail tugged your hair. Um, but see, it doesn't make any fucking sense because uh, the revenge doesn't it doesn't really it fit the crime. Like, don't get me wrong, there are guys who do stuff to her. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like I spit on your grave type stuff. Except it's not that intense at all. From what I remember, that like there's an assault and like wrong. You shouldn't do that. Um, but how she goes about getting her revenge is unhinged for like what they do. This is all from memory. I saw it like once 2 years ago, so like maybe not the most qualified. Actually, it might have been more like 4 or 5 years ago. Maybe not the most qualified guy to talk about this, but and it's not just that it was disproportionate to the crime. It's that she was like getting revenge on people who didn't even wrong her. Like these guys are part of a group of friends and the rest of the friend group is then punished and also like a guy who's like a park ranger or something. I don't know. Why you doing that? That seems weird. Maybe a little unnecessary. Do you think? I think probably. So it's not my favorite film in the world. It's kind of confusing. Like who does it want me to root for? Because on one hand you have the dirt bags, on the other hand you have Ramana, who is or Romina, whatever her name is. I don't remember. It's a Spanish film. Um, and she's just like really she's crazy. She's unhinged from my memory. And like what it seems like is like she was already pretty wackadoo and then they just kind of pushed her over the edge. I guess it just made me mad because I really wanted to root more for her. And the movie really made it hard for me to do that because she was just like murdering random people. Um, because usually you go into those types of films and you're like, yeah, Camille Keaton, cut that guy's scrotum off with a weed whacker, like, you know. But you can't really do that in this movie because like most of them aren't even involved. So then in at number nine, we have Sallow or the 120 Days of Sodom. This movie made me angry, and not for the reason you may be thinking. Yes, it is gross. That's not why this movie angers me, though. It is so pretentious and up its own ass. It's crazy. Sallow or the 120 Days of Sodom is one of the most pretentious pieces of drivel I've ever seen in my entire life. I have a full length review up from years ago. If you want my more full thoughts on the movie, and even then, I think I was more. I think I was a lot more tender to the film than I should have been. I really don't think it's a good movie. I've watched it one time since with a friend. I actually posted another video with that friend post viewing because I thought it was so funny because like they eat poop in the movie and I knew that that would mess with him and so I made him watch it and he gagged. I thought that was hilarious, but because he doesn't react to films at all, but he was like his gag reflex was in full force, dude. Yeah, it made me angry because it's so very slow and there's not a whole lot going on. And then you just kind of get plunged into random scenes of depravity with really poor acting. The acting throughout this entire film is absolute dog feces. I have no idea why this movie is so praised. It is it is literally 90 minutes or 100 minutes or however long it is of people eating fecal matter and being mean and depraved and um, bad acting. And like, I guess some decent looking shots. It's a waste of time, is what this whole film boils down to. And honestly, I've gotten so far out of like the extreme side of horror. I don't really like extremity anymore. I find it, yes, disturbing, but also boring in a way because it all just does the same thing. Person in captivity gets bad things done to them. There are so many more interesting premises we can do for horror movies. Let's just stop that. Unless you have something really interesting or unique to say, just stop doing the person in captivity has bad things done to them movie. Like the only one I watch now is like Martyrs. I will rewatch Martyrs from time to time because that's just a masterpiece. Or like the Saw movies, they're good mysteries. Like you need something else. We can't just be like, oh, look at how depraved this is. Shut up. Nobody likes you. Number 8 is Psychotica. Okay. Okay. Again, a movie I saw one time. I think I saw most of these one time because I do hate most of these movies, if not all. So Psychotica is a film about a group of heroin addicts who go to this house to shoot up one last time, one last chase in the dragon experiment. And essentially one of them goes crazy, starts killing the other one. Okay, I think that's an interesting premise because like he got like a bad batch of drugs or something and he's turned into some raving lunatic. Interesting, I suppose, but you need something to make that interesting premise good. The movie doesn't give it to you. It simply doesn't. It's bad. It's bad. The camera quality, like this movie was shot for like 15 pennies and a baked potato, and that's it. That's all. That's all it cost them to make this whole movie. I guarantee it, because the camera quality is that of mud. It is literally just they used mud for a camera. I'm absolutely convinced of it. It's horrible. The sets are dark. From what I remember, they're very dark. You can't see hardly anything. There are no kills. There are kills, but there might as well not be because there's no gore. All of the characters are horrible. They're terrible people. They're so very unlikable that it becomes painful to watch, which I think is where the making me mad comes in. Because I will tell you right now, I'm okay with some not so great characters, but when you have such insufferable douchebag characters that even I am like, I want to punch each and every one of you in the fucking face. I want to do it. I want to do it now. You have a problem on your hands. And then you give us a movie with no unique and interesting kills, a movie where you have this weird drug dealer guy who, like, essentially lives in a trap house, but for some reason he has a Desert Eagle, which is a very expensive handgun for anyone who's wondering. He has a Magnum Research Desert Eagle as his firearm that he's flashing around in the scene that he's in, and it doesn't work. Again, very expensive firearm. He would not be able to afford that Desert Eagle because he does not look like a very high quality drug dealer. Okay, I'm not speaking from experience. I don't do drugs. Don't do drugs, kids. They're very bad. But he does not look like he would be able to afford a Desert Eagle. And B, that is such a played out trope. Stop doing that. The Desert Eagle thing. I don't understand. It's like filmmakers think that it looks cool, and so they'll put it in a movie. That is not a practical gun. The Desert Eagle is not practical. Hardly at all. Okay? From videos I've seen, I have no personal experience with the Desert Eagle. I will say that right off the bat. Way too rich for my blood. That's like a $2,000 handgun. Okay? But from the videos I've seen, it jams a fair amount. Okay, it's not like the best built weapon of all time. No one is running into combat with a Desert Eagle. Stop it. Stop it. Get some help. Number 7, a Serbian film. Okay, so I'm gonna be very brief on this because I don't want to. I don't want to talk about this movie. Yes, it is disturbing. There you go. It's disturbing, but it's so disturbing that it becomes awful, like genuinely vile. It is a vile film. I have seen it one time. I saw it once in high school, and yeah, fucking up my brain early. I saw it once in high school, and I never want to see it again ever. I watched Toy Story after the end of the film because I didn't want to think about the things in the film that were just shown to me. And it's not an issue of like evil and cruelty because I can handle that. I don't, again, like cruelty. I just don't love it in movies. Just stop. Which is funny because like my favorite movies are like the Terrifier movies, but those are still very slasher. I don't love the whole person in captivity gets awful things done to them sort of movie, which a Serbian film is kind of that, but spread across multiple different scenarios, and it's terrible. The things that they suggest in this movie, the things that they like pseudo show you, honestly, I don't think a movie like this needs to be made. I don't. I used to be of the opinion like, oh yeah, it's still art, you know, it shouldn't be no, no. I think that this should probably have been banned. I have no desire to watch it. I feel like if you do want to watch it, you're kind of sick. I'm gonna be totally honest. It's just like it is an evil film. There are scenes of real, and my thing is if you want to suggest those things, if you want to allude to them and creep us out and disturb us that way, that's okay. But to actually show them being done, to actually, and like obviously they can't show them being done, but to get as close as humanly possible that you're essentially like poking a bowl to see if it'll kick you. You know what I mean? Like the ratings board or like whatever whoever governs movies, the police even, you're just like poking the bowl to see if it'll kick you by recording such a vile explicit drivel. um I think that they teetered on a very fine line, and it's honestly disgusting. I don't think the world has a place for films like a Serbian film. That's my opinion, of course. Number 6 is Cry Wolf. Okay. So this movie pissed me off for a very different reason. Hold on, let me take a drink of my Pepsi. Once again, I saw Cry Wolf in like high school, I think. And all of these movies are going to be spoiled, okay? At least all of them that I care to spoil. So, kiss my ass. Cry Wolf is essentially a slasher film about boarding school. Some teenagers are in boarding school. This guy in an orange ski mask starts picking them off. Come to find out, it was all a prank. The whole movie is a prank. There's like one actual death that occurs in the entire film, and then there's some subplot that is introduced at the very end of the film about this girl's obsession with her teacher or something like that. And it's a waste. It is a waste of your time. Um, Simply put, it's a complete and total waste of time because the actual substance of the movie is that subplot. But we don't spend that much time on the subplot. You understand? We spend so minimal time on that subplot, and the rest of the time is spent on this slasher movie that isn't actually happening. That's pretty stupid, isn't it, Bowser? Right? It's fucking dumb. He thinks it's dumb too. Take his word for it. Take my word for it. Don't watch this piece of shit. Number 5, Final Exam. So from a pseudo slasher to an actual slasher, Final Exam is a terrible, terrible, terrible movie, and I don't understand why it exists. So this movie made me so angry because when I first saw Final Exam, I had never been burned by an 80s slasher movie before. They had never let me down ever in the history of ever. 80s slashers were my boy. I knew I could, me and him were like that. We were like that. We loved each other. Okay? And then out of nowhere, out of this sea of the Prowlers and Madmans and the Mutilators and the Burnings and Sleepaway Camps and Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Streets and Halloween 2s and Halloween 4s and all of the good ones, out comes this absolute piece of shit, Final Exam. And it really is horrible. Most of the movie is literally just them. It's like college kids doing hazing rituals for a fraternity. What makes you think slasher fans are interested in that? It's a whole movie of that. Which, first of all, hazing rituals are weird, man, and they're a little gay. Not that there's anything wrong with being gay, but they're a little gay, right? Like it's weird. And there's just a whole movie of that, and then you get like the very occasional kill. Okay, the very, 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 very occasional kill. The one kill I remember in this movie, I believe, was like a weight set kill, where he gets the bar pushed down onto him while he's bench pressing. And there are better movies with that exact same kill in them. So kiss my ass, Final Exam. I am never, ever, ever watching you again. Number 4 is The Strangers Chapter 1. I tell you what, JDs and Lentilman, this is a rough one. I love The Strangers with Liv Tyler and Scott Speedman. Scott Speedman? Scott Speedman was in Vacancy, wasn't he? Who's the guy in The Strangers? Whatever. The Strangers is a great movie. Is it Scott Speedman? I feel like it's Scott. It is Scott Speedman. It's Scott Speedman. See, I know my shit. That's why you tune in here, because every once in a while I accidentally get something right. But yeah, the original The Strangers from 2008 is a great, great horror film. It's very scary. The Strangers Pray at Night is actually a really fun horror movie as well. Very dark, very nihilistic, very violent. It's a fun movie. Although, like, the 3 things that I just said don't indicate fun, but believe you me, it's a fun time. Gosh darn it. But The Strangers Chapter 1 is quite the opposite of that, actually. It takes everything good about The Strangers and The Strangers Pray at Night, and it makes it really stupid. It makes it really dumb. For whatever reason, first of all, I'm going to level with you here. I didn't watch chapter 2 or 3, and I probably never will because one was so dreadful. I just don't need to. Um, but in any case, they try to make it a mystery who the strangers are, sort of. That's probably expanded upon in 2 and 3. Um, but they kind of try and make it a mystery, like they're showing like families at like an outdoor eatery area, and they're doing like red herrings where they're all acting weird and they want you to think that they're the strangers, and then completely unrelated to the strangers, they just have like a couple of creepy little missionary boys, which completely, that's completely a complete bastardization of what they were supposed to be from the original The Strangers. You know, like they're just like two, in The Strangers, they're just like two pure little guys who ride up to this house on their little bicycles to spread the word of Jeebus, and they find Liv Tyler and Scott Speedman there, dead or dying. Well, Liv Tyler's dying, Scott Speedman is dead, and like that's it makes for a creepy opening and a creepy ending, right? Well, here they're just like creepy. They just like they behave like Damien from The Omen. Thank you guys. We wanted that. Everyone in this little town acts like they're like a spawn of the Antichrist. I don't understand it. The filmmakers had no idea what they were doing, I don't think. And neither did the audience. This movie is terrible. Everyone in the film makes the worst decisions humanly possible. Like when people whine about horror movie characters making bad decisions, The Strangers Chapter 1 is the movie they are whining about. Usually, I do not have an issue with it. I had a very real problem with it in this movie. I hate this movie with everything in my soul, and it hurt me because I really love The Strangers, and I was really looking forward to this whole trilogy, and not anymore. Not anymore at all. And that's not even getting into like all of the little nitpicky nits I could pick right now. I have a The Strangers Chapter 1 video. If you want to see why I hate this movie, you can go watch that. I don't care. Number 3 is Marshmallow. This was a more recent sting. This was, I think this is the most recent film that I watched. God, oh wow. I don't like this movie. And you know what's funny is I think I vaguely remember in hindsight seeing a review from someone who gave it a positive review, and he was like, if you weren't expecting a camp slasher and you just like went with the crazy twist at the end, you would feel completely different about the movie. No, you wouldn't. Trust me, you wouldn't. I did expect a camp slasher. I'll be upfront and honest about that. However, okay, I'm pretty lenient. I will let a movie go weird places. Okay? This movie went so off the rails that it became really stupid. And it not only was it really stupid, but the whole rest of the movie leading up to that doesn't give you anything. Nothing at all. It gives you unlikable characters, adults who make fun of children constantly, children who make fun of other children, and a boring, uninteresting campfire tale that ends up equating to one of the dumbest twists in modern cinema. If you want to see Marshmallow, I guess I won't spoil it, and I honestly do that not to savor the flavor of the film for you, but to save my sanity so I don't have to explain it to you. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't. I don't want to talk about this movie much more other than telling you I hate the twist. I hate the way it plays out. I hate all of the characters. The film is not gory. It gives you nothing. It gives you nothing, bro. I can't. I can't with Marshmallow. If you like it, good on ya. It really made me mad. There were a couple of points towards the end of the film I started actually laughing, and I'm not talking about like a little chuckle. I'm talking about like I'm losing my mind, but like it was genuine hilarity, but I also at the same time felt like I was going insane. And when I say genuine hilarity, I wasn't like forcing laughter to like illustrate how stupid the film was because I watched it with my fiance. I was it wasn't like a performative thing. It was actual. I find it very funny how stupid this fucking movie is. And I'll leave you with that. If you still want to watch Marshmallow after that, it's on you, boo boo. I've heard some people like it. I hate that movie. I would rather watch the Goosebumps episode, Welcome to Camp Jelly Jam, or whatever the hell it's called. I would honestly rather watch that. And that's a two-parter, damn it. Um, I don't know if that's actually what it's called. Number two, once again, a more recent one, House of Long Shadows. Okay, okay. Now, this movie gets under my skin for not a unique reason, but it's unique in its approach. Because, so, House of Long Shadows is a film from, I think, 1983, and it stars Vincent Price, uh, Grand Moff Tarkin. What is Grand Moff Tarkin's name? Van Helsing. What the hell, man? It stars that guy, Grand Moff Tarkin, and Van Helsing from the Christopher Lee Dracula movies. What is his name? Christopher something? No, David something. I don't know why I can't remember his name at the moment. It is always in here. It just flew out my ear for the moment. And Christopher Lee, and then another guy who I'm honestly not sure who he is. But some very old school horror legends. Um, and it's essentially an old dark house movie murder mystery about a writer who goes to this house and he is challenged to write a novel in 24 hours. And as he's writing this novel, shit just keeps getting progressively crazier around him. Like, first, he finds other people in the house, and the house is supposed to be empty. And then more people come, and more people come, and more people come. And he hears them discussing weird things in the other room. And he has to, like, unravel this mystery. The mystery is so fucking good. It is so good. I love it. I adore it. You're trying to figure out who the real bad guy is. Like, they're all bad guys, but like there's one that's like worse than the rest. And you're trying to figure out who that is. And then the reveal happens and he's like crazy as shit. And you're like, this is awesome, dude. And then the real reveal happens, which is, can you guess it? Say it with me, class? It was all a joke. It was all a prank. Fuck you. Stop with that. Stop. And what's funny is in other movies, it is offensive. To me, it is genuinely offensive. That's like one of the only times, aside from a Serbian film, where I actually find a movie offensive. Um, because the film wastes your time and then laughs in your face. It was extra offensive with House of Long Shadows because it gives you this actually really good movie and then it pulls the rug out from under you so that it can laugh at you as you lay on the ground and clutch your knee. It's like a really mean-spirited joke, it feels like. I have no idea how else to describe that. It feels like a really mean-spirited joke. I really hate that. Because of the ending, I will probably never rewatch it. I own it and I'm waiting to like rewatch it and then I want to pause it. I want to pause it right before the reveal happens and just pretend like that reveal doesn't happen and that right there is the end of the film. And if I didn't know about the reveal, that would work for me, but it's so it's just ingrained into the movie now for me. Like, if I could get a cut of the movie with that reveal completely edited out, I'd be so okay with House of the Long Shadows. But that is so bad that, God damn it, they ruined such a good movie. I'm so mad about it. It was so atmospheric too. God, I love the atmosphere in House of Long Shadows. All the torrential downpour and just the dark house, the cobwebs, the candles, the old men, the classy actors. Oh, it's great. And that stupid end reveal. All right, number one. Say it with me, class. Halloween Ends. This is a terrible movie. Okay, I was so easy on it. I went so easy on it in my initial, even my rant. Even my rant, I was so mad in the rant that I couldn't make any like legitimate criticisms. I was just like, this movie fucking blows. And it does. But like, it's it's a bad movie. And I haven't gone back and rewatched it, by the way. I haven't at all. I will tell you there are two good things about this movie. That is the cinematography and the score, and that's it. The movie is so disrespectful to Michael Myers and his entire legacy. He is the boogeyman, and he gets the crap kicked out of him by a dumb little 18-year-old. Who cares? Why? Why is that happening? And then, you know what? I would even be okay with the whole idea of the evil transferring from Michael to Corey if it wasn't done so horribly. It's done so horribly because first they do the thing where they completely disrespect Michael Myers, and then after that they do the thing where Corey and Michael are best buds now, and they go on an Avengers Assemble killing rampage. And then there's that whole stupid story about Corey and Allison getting together, and she's on the back of his moped. I think I even said that I liked that the first time. What's funny is, again, I haven't rewatched it. I'm just remembering it, and I'm like, that is so dumb. I remember going, I'll probably like this movie more in the future. And as I have thought about it, I hate it more and more and more and more. And I think that's just going to be forever. I'm going to hate Halloween Ends for the rest of my entire life, and the hatred will, one day it will become too much. My head will explode from how much I genuinely hate that movie. So, those are 10 horror movies that pissed me the hell off. Okay, guys, if you want to be really angry, watch any of those 10 movies, except don't watch Serbian film, because you shouldn't support that. To be honest with you, I wouldn't nowadays. It's just a gross movie, man. It's just gross, and it's gross in some really unfortunate ways. Anyway, I'll see you fellers on the next one.